I'm so glad you decided to come back for more great information. In part 2 of Chapter 4, you'll learn about three categories of wireless and mobile device threats. These three categories of threats are data theft, device control, and system access. Now, let's start with data threats. Data theft threats. Criminals have been stealing from hard-working people forever. Since the beginning of time, theft is nothing new. What is new is the method the theft can occur. In today's world, you do not have to be anywhere near the person you target in order to steal from them. All you need is access to online information. On the surface, data theft does not sound all that serious, but when you look at it a bit closer, you realize it can be very serious. Personally identifiable information, or PII, is information that can be used to identify, contact, or locate a specific person. Often in business, the criminal wants to obtain details on a person with power in an organization. They try to obtain the credentials for bank accounts, both personal and business, or they want specific information on either a person or a business, and they want information for remote access to specific software at that company that they can access and get the data on that system. The scary part is that they can access the data, copy and download it without anyone ever knowing. The criminals try not to disturb the everyday activities so the organization remains unaware of the activity going on. The most common threats to mobile-specific attacks include the following: sniffing or snooping. The interception of a radio signal can be mitigated with encryption. Then there's malicious applications like malware. Malware on mobile devices has increased exponentially. These applications can install on phones and can copy text messages, emails, and contact lists. Another risk to consider is the access of your location through GPS. The user could be blackmailed for being in a specific location, or worse, the user could be attacked. Then there's browser exploits. That takes advantage of vulnerabilities on mobile web browsers. This can be a big issue in BYOD environments. Unsafe web pages can easily download malware onto the device without the user knowing, which is a good reason companies use mobile device management, MDM, with a BYOD environment. Wireless phishing. Phishing is used to send fake emails or short SMS messages to a person to try to get them to click a link that goes to a fake web page. Say it looks like your bank web page, but it's not. Then that web page wants you to enter information. Of course, the information is going straight into a criminal's hands, even logins and passwords. Then you have lost or stolen devices. A while back, I did a study on the most common threat to data. The number one was a lost phone, tablet, or laptop. If there is any sensitive data on any of those devices, the data is compromised. And if the settings allow the user to access business systems automatically, the data is also compromised, but on the actual original system. Now that's scary. And this is not to mention the fact that if the device was the only location you had that information stored, then the data could be gone forever. One way to address this is to ensure all data is stored on a centrally controlled server, then have users use VPN, or virtual private network, to connect to that data and access it. Also, MDM can assist as well by allowing the IT personnel to wipe the device so that nothing is left on it if it is lost or stolen. This is probably one of the best solutions for a lost or stolen device. Now let's look at the second threat category, device control threats. A lot of times, hackers like to take control of a device. When they have control, they can see what's going on and can continually access any new data that's available. The hack can also launch other attacks to the device or to other devices that it has access to. Often, the hacker will use access to an employee's device to gain access to servers and other high-level systems. The hacker hops from one device to another until they find something useful. Unauthorized or modified clients. Users sometimes create vulnerabilities when they try to circumvent policies or device configurations. This can open back doors for hackers. This is an issue because the corporate networks view the device as safe and continues to allow access to everything the user is permitted to reach. Ad hoc connections and software-based access points. This is the ability to set up and use a network hotspot. New smartphone devices have the ability to do this. Users can easily purchase a wireless router and simply plug it into the network. While this might make access to the network easier for the user, and it makes it easier to share access to the network, it opens the network up for attackers. Because of the improvement and ease of use of these hotspots, it's very easy for someone who's not technical to implement. Scary. Next, endpoint attacks. There are now tools on the market that allow a hacker to attack a wireless client directly. For example, Metasploit can be used to probe Wi-Fi clients for thousands of known vulnerabilities. Once the vulnerabilities are known by the hacker, the client can be controlled or monitored. Bluetooth Wi-Fi hacks. Traditionally, vulnerabilities in Bluetooth protocols have enabled hackers to gain access to and control of mobile devices. However, today, devices come with Bluetooth switched off by default. If a user changes the setting, hackers can easily take control of a Bluetooth-enabled device. Near-field communication is a technology that allows a hacker to connect to a device that is very close. It's not like Bluetooth. This connection is automatic and is used with a lot of social media to exchange contact information. It's also used for autoplay with credit cards and point-of-sale terminals. This is also called proximity hacking. Accessing a system means the hacker has to be able to break into the network. This means they can not only steal information, but they can cause disruptions or even break the network for political or financial gain. Here are a few examples of system access threats. Denial of service attack. That's when a system is just inundated with all kinds of requests to access their system, and it's so bad it brings the system down. Rogue access points. We mentioned that earlier. It's just where people create their own access points so they can get into the network. An evil twin access point. That's an access point that looks and acts like the original access point, but it's just a duplicate. It's not the real access point. You have just completed part 2 of chapter 4. In part 3, you will learn about risk mitigation. Come join me.